session of Sit, Stretch, and Flex. Thank you for joining me today. So we'll need a few things to get started with. We'll need a nice, flat, sturdy chair. No office chairs with wheels or anything like that, and not in the couch or our lazy boy recliners. You'll also need your little resistance band that was provided for you. We're going to use this a little bit as well. So while we have that in our mind, let's go ahead and start with that, okay? So while we're in our chair, just take your band, you can lay it across your lap. We're going to use that very, very soon. So let's start with a few nice deep breaths here. Deep breath in, reach your arms up overhead as you inhale. Breathe out as you exhale, arms come back down. And let's do that a few more times. Deep breath in, arms come up. Breathing out, arms come back down. One more time, deep breath in through the nose. And then out through our mouth. All right, so like I said, we're going to use that resistance band. So with that band, let's go ahead and take it. We want to sit on the front part of our chair, so we're going to scoot up in our chair a little bit, still sitting nice and tall. Take that band, I want you to wrap it around the ball of your foot or even towards your toes. All right, we want to have our leg be nice and straight out in front of us. I like to put the band together and hold it with one hand. Then I'm going to take my other hand, I'm just going to lean forward, and I'm going to reach down for my toes. Now, as I lean forward, reaching for my toes, I'm keeping my knees straight, and I'm finding that stretch right in the back part of my leg. Right, we're definitely feeling that stretch. We're just going to hold our stretches for about 10 or 15 seconds apiece, but you definitely should be aware of the muscles that we're stretching from here. So that's probably 10 or 15 seconds. So go ahead and slide that hand back up. Now we're going to take the same leg. Instead of with the leg being straight out in front of us, we want to move this leg out to the side. Same stretch, but instead of in front, it's to the side. Now again, knee is straight. We'll gently lean forward and reach down for those toes again. Now extra credit if you can touch your toes. If you can't, don't lose sleep over that either. Just keep that knee nice and straight and find that stretch in the back part of our leg while we hold this. Right, these muscles tend to tighten up on us if we do a lot of sitting, especially times like now. We're kind of stuck inside, so I always want to keep our muscles nice and limber. We can go ahead and sit back up, pull that leg back to the center. But let's open up that band, and let's go ahead and just switch feet. Again, step on it towards the ball of your foot or even towards your toes. Let's restart that sequence. Have that foot straight out in front of you. Hold the band with one hand. We're going to slide the opposite hand down the strap again, and again, keep your knee nice and straight, finding that stretch in the back part of your leg. And it definitely should be uncomfortable, actually. We want to be aware of the muscle that we're stretching. We're just holding it. And then we can slide our hand back up, we can sit back up, but once again, take this foot, bring it out to the side. Same stretch with the leg, but now out to the side. So again, slide this hand down. Reaching down towards those toes, find that stretch. Hopefully those leg muscles are starting to warm up and loosen up a little bit for us. Just getting started for us today. And then we can go ahead and slowly let go. We can come back up. We can pull that foot back to the center. Undo your strap and bring it back around in front of us. We're going to hold the band right in front of us, about shoulder width apart. Sitting nice and tall. And all we're going to do is turn to the right. Everything from the waist up is rotating to the right. With your right hand, try to pull your right hand behind you. And I want you to turn and look over your shoulder. Try to look back behind you as well. Remember to continue to keep breathing here, please. Let's slowly release, come back to the center, but you guessed it. We're going to rotate to the left now. Pull your left hand back behind you. Try to turn and look over your left shoulder. For 3, 2, 1. We'll come back to the center one more time. Still holding that rubber band shoulder width apart, or you can adjust your hands towards the ends. That's fine. Remember, this rubber band stretches. So use that stretch to your advantage for this one, okay? From here, we're going to try to reach our arms up nice and high. And we're going to do our best that we can to rotate those shoulders and bring the arms all the way back down and around behind us. Now that puts a lot of strain through the shoulders, so do the best you can. Well, let's try it again. Try to bring it all the way up, over, around, and down. Like I said, I know that is challenging, so we're going to try that just one more time. So again, start with it up, bring it around, back, and down. One final time. All the way up, over, around, and down. And just like that, we're already finished with the rubber band. That was pretty quick, short and sweet, right? So you can set that down under your chair, next to your chair, wherever you want. We're through with that. For the rest of the class, we're going to start at the top and then just slowly work our way down for things. So while we're sitting again, still with our good posture, up nice and tall in our chair, starting at the top. Just turn your head to the right. Try to look over your shoulder again. And we want to hold this again. 10 or 15 seconds for each stretch. Come back to the center. Let's go to the left now again. Turning your head now to the left. Try to look back behind you. See what's going on back there. We can slowly come back to the center again. From here, all we're going to do is drop our chin down to our chest. And now we're going to make some slow, gentle, easy circles with our head and neck. So again, very slow, simple circles all the way around in one direction. And really want to go slow. 2 or 3 times all the way around. And then we're just going to reverse direction. Those same gentle, sweeping circles all the way around in the opposite direction. And if you happen to find a particular angle that feels good, like right there for me, right there, feel free to spend a little extra time in that angle and work out any kinks you might have had. So we kind of loosen up our neck. We're going to move down to our arms and shoulders. Go ahead and bring your arms out to your side. Just slightly crisscross your arms back and forth. Let the weight of the arms help loosen up the shoulders as we crisscross and swing them back and forth. And I want you to keep your arms swing the same speed, okay? Don't slow these arms down. But as you open your arms back up, try to touch your hands behind your chair. Now, I can't do it. If you can, I'm jealous. But it's always good to have something to shoot for. We're trying to reach those hands way back behind us. Then we can go ahead and just comfortably let the arms rest down by our side. How about we roll those shoulders forward a few times? Now we're going to roll the shoulders backwards. Get all the way back. Squeezing those shoulder blades together as we roll those shoulders back. Very good. Now while we're making circles with our shoulders, we'll go ahead and move those circles down to our hands. Holding our hands in front of us. Just some circles with our hands and our wrists. We'll go ahead and reverse direction. And then we can go ahead and give those hands a nice light little shake. We're still working with our arms. We've got a lot of arm stretches to do. Just take one arm. I like to start with my right arm because I'm right-handed. Bring your right arm all the way across. Your left hand will grab your elbow. And now try to pull that arm in right under your chin. Try to pull that arm in close towards your body. And again, feel that stretch into our shoulder. Again, we're trying to hold our stretches for 10, 15 seconds if we can. We always want to be aware of where we're stretching. And we're still going to use this same arm, okay? Your right arm. So take that right arm up overhead. Drop your hand back behind your head. Then with our left hand, we're going to hold onto our arm and push that arm up and back. Give that arm a push. Again, another nice stretch through that shoulder. While we're here, you can always feel free to give yourself a pat on the back for stretching today. It's always good to do that. Someone's got to give yourself a pat on the back, right? We can go ahead and release that arm. We'll switch arms. So now the left arm's going to come all the way across. Your right hand will grab the elbow. And again, pull that arm in close. Try to pull that arm right under our chin. And with your hand can end up back behind you. Or if it's more comfortable for your arm to be extended, that's totally fine as well. Whatever makes you happy makes me happy. So whichever you choose is fine. Still with the left arm. Left arm comes up. Drop that hand back and let's give that arm a push. One more time. Again, feel free. Once more to give yourself a pat on the back if you like. And we can go ahead and return both of our arms back down to our side. Give those arms a nice light little shake. We got a good amount of stretching going on with those arms. Now we've still got a lot of stuff to do with our arms, but we're going to focus mainly on our midsection and our back. But our arms still have a lot of work to do. So let's take a couple nice deep breaths in first. As you inhale, reach those arms straight up, over top. Then we're going to exhale. Our arms are going to come down. We're actually going to lean forward in our chair too. As we lean forward, I want you to reach down towards your toes. And then I want you to stare down at your feet. Just let yourself hang here. Now, as we're holding this stretch, whatever you do, don't hold your breath, okay? Just hold that stretch, but not your breath. Make sure you're still breathing. And on your next inhale, I want you to slowly start to rise. As we're rising, continue that inhale as we reach the arms up. And we'll do that one more time. Exhale, leaning forward, reaching the arms down towards our feet. Reaching to our toes, staring down at our feet again, and just hang here once more. But again, don't stop breathing. I don't want you to come up with a red face. On your next inhale, let's slowly start to rise for the final time. Deep breath in, reach your arms way up. And then just exhale and just return your arms comfortably down to your side. All right, again, a lot of focusing on our back stretches here. So with those arms, reach them back up to the sky again. You got to use your imagination here. I want you to imagine you're climbing a ladder, or you're picking apples in an orchard, or you're reaching for the cookie jar on the top shelf. I don't know. But reach those arms up as high as you can. Now, not just reaching with the arms, but I want you to reach, and I want you to lean as well. Really reach those arms up as high as you possibly can, one at a time. Feel that stretch all the way through our side over here. One more with each side. Very good. We can go ahead and return our arms back down. So for this one, we're going to take our right hand. I'd like you to place your right hand on your left knee. Your left hand's then going to reach back behind your chair. And I like to hold on to the chair. It gives us a little added leverage. And we're going to turn our whole upper body. Turn to the left. Try to look over your shoulder again. A gentle little twist here. Again, hold it, continuing to breathe. Alright, now from here, we're going to take our left hand. We're going to turn back to the center. The left hand is going to reach up to the sky. And then we want to lean all the way over to our right. Now from here, if you can, try to turn your head and look at the bend in your elbow. And again, just stretching through the side. While we're holding this controlled movement, we can go ahead and release. We can sit on back up nice and tall. But now we have to switch and do the opposite side. So now our left hand goes on our right knee. Our right hand reaches again back behind the chair. We're going to turn to the right, and once more, try to look over your shoulder. Try to look behind you. That gentle little twist. Continuing to breathe, still in through our nose. Nice deep breaths in, and strong breaths out. And then we can turn back to the center with that right hand. Reach your right hand up. We're going to lean all the way over to our left now. Don't tip out of the chair, please. As we're leaning over to our left, if you can, try to turn your gaze and look at the bend of your elbow. And then we can finally release. We can go ahead and sit on back up a little more comfortably. Now for this next one, we're going to separate our feet a little bit more than we usually would. And we want to lean forward in our chair for this as well. So I want you to take your right hand. This is where it's specific. Take your right hand. Hold on to the inside part of your right ankle. All right? Then with our left hand, while we're leaning forward, our left hand is going to reach up to the sky. And then if you can, I want you to turn your head and see if you can look at your fingers. Reach that hand up as high as you can. Lengthening through the spine. See if you can find those fingers. Hold it there. Continuing to breathe through this strange stretch. And we can release and we can finally start to sit back up. We'll switch everything. So now again, we're still going to be leaning forward. The left hand now holds on to the inside of our ankle. The right arm reaches up. And again, turn and look if you can see your hand. Remember, holding our stretches for 10 or 15 seconds apiece. That sounds like a short amount of time, but it does add up. We can go ahead and release, and we can finally sit back up nice and tall in our chair. Sometimes that feels good. All right, so we did a lot through our back stretches, but now we're going to slowly move down to our legs. We've got a lot of leg stretches to do, which still involve a lot of our arms. But for this stretch, you can even lean back into your chair, though. That's kick back, relax a little bit. I'd like you to take both of your hands, grab one of your knees. Again, I'm right-handed, so I like to start with my right leg. Pull your right leg up as high as you can. Try to pull that knee in towards your chest. The higher you can get your knee, the better. That's why leaning back makes it a little easier to get that knee up. We're just going to hold that leg up here. While we have this leg up, now we're going to make some circles with our ankle in one direction. And we're just going to reverse direction now. Same size circles, just the opposite direction. Then we're going to point our toes back and forth a few times. With this leg up, we're actually going to pick this leg up and cross it over our opposite leg. All right, now from here, I want you to slide one hand down, hold on to the top part of your foot. The other hand holds on underneath your knee. And now from here, this is not going to be a big movement. We're just gently going to lean forward ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. As we lean forward, we find that stretch kind of deep within that hip structure. And again, it doesn't take much to feel that stretch. If we're more flexible, we can probably lean forward further. But if we're a little less flexible, this is probably far enough. We're not going to need to lean too far for this stretch. Now that we've had enough of that, let's go ahead and slowly start to sit back up. From here, the hand that's under your knee, I'd like you to take that hand and place it on top of your knee. Now this alone sometimes provides enough stretch and enough resistance for the stretch. Just the weight of my arm, I can feel the stretch as this leg kind of pushes down a little bit. Now if you can't feel it, you can apply a little pressure, but sometimes just enough pressure with one finger or two fingers provides enough resistance to try and push that knee down ever so slightly. It's not going to move very much. And again, you're going to find that stretch kind of deep within that hip. I'm not pushing down very hard at all. I would recommend not pushing down very hard at all. We can go ahead and ease up with the pressure. Let's go ahead and lower this leg back down. What we do to one, we probably should do to the other side though, right? So go ahead and take both of your hands again. Grab this knee. Pull that knee up again. Try to get it into our chest. If holding the front part of your knee is difficult, you can also hold on underneath your knee and pull that knee up. It's totally fine. Or if it's more comfortable to have one hand under your knee and one hand on top of your knee, again, whichever is most comfortable for you is fine with me. It doesn't matter to me. Just try and pull that knee up again as high as you can. The higher you can get your knee up, the better. Still with that knee up. Let's go ahead and make some circles with our ankle again. Reverse direction with those circles. And then we're just going to point our toes back and forth just a few times. Starting that sequence over again with this leg up. Since it's up already, cross this leg over our opposite leg again. All right, so one hand holds on top of our shoe. The other hand holds on underneath our knee. Now, I'm not as flexible on this side. We've got multiple different variables. Previous injuries or any number of things. So you might have one side that's more flexible than the other. If that's the case, don't worry, you're in good company. I'm the same as well. So we're going to try to lean forward again in our chair. Right? I don't get very far on this side because I'm not as flexible on this side. I'm going to do my best to lean forward. And again, we're going to feel this stretch on the outside of this leg. Again, trying to hold it for 10 or 15 seconds for every stretch that we're performing. We can go ahead and sit back up a little straighter. This hand that's under our knee, turn that hand, place it on top of the knee, and again, with the slightest amount of pressure. Again, sometimes just resting the hand and arm on top of that knee provides enough resistance. We're going to try to push this knee down ever so slightly. My knee moves only about, I don't know, maybe an inch tops. It doesn't move very far, but just the slightest amount of pressure, and I feel that stretch deep within that hip. We're just holding just constant, steady pressure. That's it. We can go ahead and ease up on the pressure. We can go ahead and lower this leg back down. All right. Now you can continue to even lean back into your chair once more. All I'd like you to do now is just hold one foot up in the air. We're going to straighten one knee and just hold one foot in the air. And all I want you to do now is point your toes forward. That's it. Pretty simple. Now take your toes and point them back towards your nose. We're going to hold this for a little bit longer. Make sure to keep your knees straight while those toes are pointing towards your nose. And again, just point them forward for a brief amount of time. And now back at your nose once more. We can go ahead and lower that leg back down. Hold the other foot up, and once more, point the toes forward. And then take them back, point them at your nose again. One final time. Point those toes forward. And then back towards our nose. Last time, I promise. We can go ahead and lower that leg back down. We can sit up nice and tall. Alright. Hopefully we've covered just about everything from top to bottom regarding all of our major muscle groups. Again, if any of these stretches felt particularly good to you today, feel free to do them again. Spend a little added time with any of these stretches at any time. You don't have to do them just with us, you can do them any time, okay? But we will conclude class today. Let's take a few more nice deep breaths, make sure we have enough oxygen in our system. We can't get enough oxygen, right? So take it with me here. Deep breath in, reach your arms way overhead. Breathe it in through your nose, and then out through our mouth. A few more here. Deep breath in, arms come overhead. Breathing out through our mouth. We're going to do two more. Again, in through the nose, out through our mouth. One more time. Last deep breath. Okay, deep breath in. At the top of your inhale, though, hold that breath here. Hold it with me for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let it out. Push that air out. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks, everyone.